Welcome back, folks. We are watching the slow-motion car crash that is the British government attempting to negotiate with a superpower, and frankly, it is painful to witness. You have Keir Starmer, a man who looks like he's perpetually waiting for a bus that's been cancelled, wandering around Beijing trying to look like a statesman. But what we're really seeing in this clip from GB News isn't just awkward diplomacy, it's the unveiling of the United Kingdom as a vassal state. You have the panel there laughing, and sure, it's funny in a dark, tragic sort of way, but underneath the jokes about burner phones and magic mushrooms, there is a terrifying reality. Our political class is utterly capitulating to the Chinese Communist Party. Let's jump in.
And then we're going to go to the audience. Christo, Starmer's big trip to China.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it's kind of funny and we've all laughed about it, but actually there is a serious side to this, because I've been looking up some of the statistics and, you know, it's an authoritarian regime. It represses its citizens. It imprisons them instead of allowing free speech. Oh, sorry, no, that's the United Kingdom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got confused between the two places. What did we get out of this trip? And because, you know, it is important to have good relations with other countries, isn't it? Well, apparently AstraZeneca, they're going to be investing. They're going to be investing £11 billion in China. Oh, OK, hang on, no, forget that. Then Octopus Energy, they're a good investment there. Oh, that's going to be in China. That's billions. Hang on. We're going to get £250 million for Scottish whisky over the next 5 years. Wow. I mean, you could have done that in a night.
Thank you very much.
Couldn't you? But the jewel in the crown is, of course, and I love this, because we have solved the small boats crisis, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to be limiting the engine parts that go into the inflatable dinghies that bring people over, because 60% of them come from China. Who wouldn't have confidence in that? That's a great move, isn't it? Absolutely. So, a great success, and I think we can put it on a par with all the other great successes of this government.
Well done. Well done. Right, Anna, yeah, come on, good. Anna, your views on Starmer?
Stop the tape there for a second. You have to appreciate the sarcasm from Christo, but let's strip away the humour and look at the horror of what was just laid out. This is the great reset of relations Starmer promised. It's a national humiliation. Look at the ledger. On one side, we have British companies, strategic assets like AstraZeneca and Octopus Energy, pouring billions of pounds into the Chinese economy. That is British capital, British innovation and British future prosperity being shipped off to a hostile authoritarian regime. And what are we get in return? A discount on tariffs for Scotch whisky and a vague, unenforceable promise to stop engine parts for small boats. Let's talk about that small boats deal, because it's an insult to the intelligence of every British citizen. We are currently facing a literal invasion on our southern coast. Thousands of unvetted military-age males are arriving illegally, and Starmer thinks the solution is asking the CCP to check the serial numbers on outboard motors. It's pathetic. It is a smokescreen designed to make you think they are doing something while they actively refuse to secure our borders. The Chinese know it's a joke. Starmer knows it's a joke. The only people they hope are stupid enough to believe it are you, the voters. Furthermore, consider the energy aspect mentioned. Octopus Energy investing in China. We are being told here in the UK that we must deindustrialise, we must freeze in our homes, and we must pay exorbitant taxes for net zero. Meanwhile, our energy companies are investing in the world's largest polluter. It proves that the green agenda isn't about the environment, it's about transferring wealth from the west to the east. We are gutting our own economy, shutting down our own steelworks and handing the keys to the future over to Beijing for a few bottles of cheaper Glenfiddich. It is not trade, it is tribute. We are paying tribute to the new emperor, and Starmer is just a courier delivering the gold.
Starmer's big nights out in Beijing.
I don't have any issue with Starmer actually going to China because Macron's been, Trump is going, Mrs Thatcher went 3 times, once in opposition, twice as Prime Minister. For me, the issue is what was on the agenda? What did he say I want to talk about? Jimmy Lai, was he talked about? Yes. Not at all, as far as I'm aware.
No, he was.
The mega, OK, well, we haven't heard anything about that at all. So hopefully we're going to hear something tonight. The mega spy hub that they shouldn't be having, restrictions on that, I bet that wasn't talked about. China supplying Russia with supersonic ballistic missile parts. I bet that wasn't talked about. Instead, as Christo has told us, he's come back with the most pathetic things in his rucksack, lifting these sanctions on MPs, which is meaningless.
He's got a Labubu doll.
Visa travel for 30... how many of us are going to go on short trips to China? Certainly not me. And the Germans and the French have already got it. And as Christo's pointed out, all the trade deal has gone in the wrong direction. This is a joke. I'm embarrassed.
All right, good. So we're off to a flight. Now, before we go to the rest of the panel, I want to go to this gentleman on the front row here. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So what would you like to say about this?
So, when your leader goes to China or to any other country, the way we're baiting for this great big list of things that are going to change our lives for the better. And really all we've seen is how it was all about him. But we did get the visa-free travel. But I reckon there's an ulterior motive to this. We know he doesn't like us, right? So if he persuades us all to go to China and get locked up, then there won't be anybody left to vote him out of office.
Maybe that's the trick. Oh. Maybe he's telling people like Ian Duncan Smith, don't worry, you can go now. You can go. And then he gets there and he ends up in some kind of Chinese mega dungeon. Yeah. But I like the way you think, sir. Can I also... Oh, you don't mind me doing this. I was chatting to him in the waiting room earlier on. And you've got more than a passing resemblance to Prince Harry.
A little bit. It's been raised once or twice.
Yeah. So do you get it a lot?
I get it more often the older I'm getting. But about 10 years ago, I got detained by immigration in Laos because they thought I was Prince Harry on a fake passport.
Wow.
Exclusive.
Oh, mate, brilliant. Right, well, after the show, I'm going to sit you down, do a full interview, and we're going to run with that. We're going to run with that on Monday. So thank you very much, sir. Right, go on, Adam, and then Barry.
Look, the conspiracy theorist in me would say that maybe they've gone to China to take notes on digital ID and how they can imprison us, like, with a digital leash round our neck. So that worries me a little bit. But successive governments have allowed China to infiltrate our universities, buy up our industries. It's too late to be scared or be worried what the Chinese are going to do. They are here and they own much of Great Britain. The fact that we're giving them a super embassy so close to our information networks stinks to high heaven for me. I don't know any competent government that would allow that to happen. The Chagos deal, trying to force that through, no one believes that makes sense. It has ties to China with Mauritius. For me, as someone just with an opinion, I would say it looks like our government is compromised by China.
Oh, strong stuff. Strong stuff. All right, Barry, there is plenty for you to go at here, my good man. Go on.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to head into nothing tonight, haven't I? I just listened to the applause. Goodness. Look, China is the second biggest economy in the world. You said it owns much of Britain. Actually, it doesn't own that much of Britain, but it does own a huge amount of America, actually. And that's why Trump is also going to China this year. Rather weird, given that he just told Starmer, really, you shouldn't be going. Mm. You know, Macron's gone, Merz is gone, Carney's gone. You know, some of our closest allies have gone to China. Why? They've gone there because actually you can't ignore China's economic strength. You have to engage. And I'm afraid what happened over the past regime
back to 2010 is that we had the golden age under David Cameron in 2015. It was called the golden age with China. Then Theresa May came in. Oh, mind you, I did actually think that Theresa May and Donald Trump hand in hand was rather like Keir Starmer.
That was a bit weird, actually, yes, but yes.
There. But at least they weren't holding hands, OK?
No.
You know, so there's been this backwards and forwards relationship with China. First it's a golden age, then we're all afraid of them. Now we're trying to get the relationship on a level playing field. Are China an ally? No, they're certainly not. Are they an adversary? Yes, they certainly are. We should not be considering them yet an enemy, but they are an adversary. And it's important that we establish decent trade relations where we can. And actually, you talked about 250 million. What's happened is that the tariff on the import tariff on whisky has now been halved. That will be a huge boost to Scottish industry. The visas, I agree with you, it's neither here nor there, except in this respect, in that business will be able to go out there without the problems of that and begin to do business. And the businesses that you mentioned, Christo, yeah, they are going to be investing in China, but they're based and domiciled here and they'll be paying tax here. So actually, it is about doing business. It is about being very careful, and that's why I corrected you on that point. He did raise Jimmy Lai, he did raise the Uyghurs, he did raise the situation in Hong Kong. All the human rights issues were raised in that conversation. So, look,
and what promises did he get on any of those issues?
And, you know, I think this is always the way. You go there, what do? You raise the issue, you make sure that people know that you're watching what they're doing. Can you actually tell China, OK, you've got to release somebody? No, you can't. Let's be realistic. It's real politics.
Let's be realistic. That right there is the epitaph of the West, spoken by Barry Gardner. Listen to the defeatism. Listen to the absolute surrender in his voice. What he calls real politics is actually managed decline. He is admitting openly on national television that the United Kingdom has zero leverage. He is telling us that we can go over there, we can beg, we can raise our little concerns about human rights or Jimmy High, and the Chinese Communist Party will just laugh in our faces and we will take it. Why? Because, as he admits, we are economically dependent. Barry tries to spin this as engagement, claiming that investing in China brings returns to the UK. But does it? Or does it just enrich the shareholders of multinational corporations who have no loyalty to this country while a working-class manufacturing base of Britain continues to rot? He mentions the golden age under Cameron as if it's something to be nostalgic about. That golden age was when we opened the doors to Chinese infiltration of our universities, our nuclear infrastructure and our technology sectors. And look at the security angle the audience member brought up earlier, the super embassy. We are allowing a hostile foreign power, one that is actively conducting espionage and cyber warfare against us, to build a massive intelligence hub right in the heart of London. It is madness. It is suicidal. And here you have a Labour MP shrugging his shoulders, saying, well, they're an adversary, but we need the money. This is the mindset of the establishment. I would sell the ground out from under your feet if the price was right. They are compromising our national security, our digital sovereignty and our moral standing, all so they can keep the cheap goods flowing and the stock market ticking up. It's not diplomacy, it is appeasement on a scale that would make Chamberlain blush.
But, you know, on the whole, it was right to go.
We did kind of tell the Egyptians that they needed to release that Abd al-Fattah guy, and then they did. And
so we could give him a house in Brighton.
How many years later did they do it when they wanted to get rid of him?
We were adamant about that. That was a top priority, wasn't it? And then it turned out no one had checked his Twitter, and it was like, oh gosh, this guy, you know. But anyway, right. Well, final word on this, because I mean, so I get what you're saying, and look, that it's
nice about the whisky, the 250 million for the whisky. It's lovely. But the investment that they're getting from us is in billions, and we're getting a bit of whisky that will benefit us, or a bit more revenue from that whisky. It does seem a little bit one-sided. Where's the billions for us if we're going to have to nurture this relation?
Let me explain. When I was in business, I expanded my company into what was then Eastern Europe, right, and then ultimately into Russia. I invested a huge amount to do that. But I tell you what, the returns were enormous, okay? Because actually that then brought business, it brought business to my company, and we then prospered as a result of it. That's how you do it. You make the investment, and of course, in anything like AstraZeneca or anything like what was the other one? Octopus.
Yeah.
You know, great. But that's a British business now going out there.
Fine.
It'll produce goods for this.
I think one of the other things for me is just how awkward he always looks. I mean,
terribly awkward.
Everyone goes like, "Oh, he's good on the world stage." It's like, is he?
No.
I don't know. It's like he's about to fall off. He looks like he's about to fall off the stage half the time, doesn't he? Really?
I think it's an embarrassment, Patrick, how awkward he is, to be fair, and how lack of a personality. It's really awkward.
And isn't it a shame that AstraZeneca are moving their US listing, their revenue to the US, which is costing us 200 million a year in lost stamp duty revenue?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
It really is hard to watch, isn't it? You have the panel laughing, you have the audience laughing, but the joke is on us. We are watching the wholesale transfer of British sovereignty to a foreign power facilitated by a political class that has completely lost the will to fight for this country. Starmer goes to China not as a leader of a sovereign nation, but as a regional manager reporting to head office. We are opening our borders, selling our assets and ignoring the warnings from our actual allies, all to please a regime that views us with utter contempt. So I have to ask you, when you see our Prime Minister bowing and scraping in Beijing while our own borders remain wide open, do you feel like you're living in a free country, or does it feel like we've already been conquered without a shot being fired?